We're delighted to have Suha Kocabal from AirFinance, who's going to answer the question, is now the time for export credit?
Work? Okay. Yesterday I had 20 minutes, now I have 3 minutes, so it's just crazy.
And you've just wasted 20 seconds.
Exactly. Good morning, everybody. My name is Suha Kocabal, and I am with AirFinance. I joined AirFinance 4 months ago from a major North American bank where I worked for 17 years in doing the ECA financing. Today, basically, I'm going to be focusing on these questions and tell you how AirFinance fits into the picture. Okay. So how many of you have done ECA deals in the audience? I know you for it. It's only one. Okay. Let me tell you what ECA stand for. ECAs are owned by government institutions and are mandated to promote their respective countries' exports through loan guarantee programs. And in some rare cases, they do direct lending, like in the case of EDC, Export Development Canada. In the old days, we will have Bob Mooring, Kathleen Flanagan, and some guys from EDC here. It would have been much better, but it's only me this time, Thanks, Al. Next, the most active ECAs today in the aviation world are UKEF, which is British Exim, Hermes, which is German, SACE, Italian, and SERV, Swiss. And Exim, unfortunately, comes last because since 2 years, Exim did not have any board quorum, and they can't do more than $10 million deals. And they can only provide financing up to 7 years, and that's unfortunately put Exim on the last, between the ECAs. In general, the perception about ECA is that they take a lot of time, they ask a lot of questions, due diligence process is lengthy. Obviously, in every deal, if you don't answer the questions that the lenders ask, every deal will take time. But typically with ECAs, it takes a little bit of more time. However, if you work with arrangers like us, like AirFinance, I'm sure you can minimize most of these concerns. So let me give you some background on AirFinance and how we fit into the industry. AirFinance was established in 2008 by two industry professionals, Tom Lowe and Kirsten Bartok. And one of the turning points for AirFinance was in 2012, where Exim Bank has given the title of Qualified Advisor to AirFinance. So the Qualified Advisor program was created by Exim and by the help of David Hernandez of Weather Price. Thank you, David. And the idea was for Exim, leverage experienced industry players, wisely grow US Exim Bank business in business aviation and helicopter industry. We work with different ECAs now. Today, we just don't work with Exim Bank, and we work with all of the OEMs. And we will also finance helicopters and simulators. Since that turning point of 2012, we have done over $1.2 billion in aircraft and helicopter financing in 13 jurisdictions, and these are some of the clients that we work together. So one may ask, what's the value of working with a qualified advisor? Obviously, it's the right question. It all translates to the speed of approval with us. By being the lead arranger in the deal, we will work with ECA, we will work with the buyers, we will prepare the buyers, we'll put the package together, we'll structure the deal, and we get it approved. But this is where we add value. But the bottom line is that, especially this program is valuable for the borrowers when the borrowers are below certain size. Sorry about the mess in the countries where export financing is available. Obviously, ECA financing are not available everywhere. They will have their internal issues, restrictions, and limitations, but if you go in each ECA's website under the country limitation schedule, you will know where financing is available. So we will provide financing in those areas where highlighted by green. So how does export financing work? Basically, as an arranger, we will ask the borrower for their 3 years of financial statements. I'm going to be spending a little bit more time here. We'll ask all the references, we'll structure the deal, we will get the deal approved, and then we'll document and we will fund the deal. So all this process takes between 2 to 4 months, obviously, for the first deal. But for second and third and fourth, we have repeat customers. The deals take much less than that, because once the credibility is established, all I have to do is to update the financial statements. And obviously, ECAs will charge insurance premiums for guaranteeing the deal for the lenders. And in addition to the insurance premiums, the banks will charge their margins and their fees, but still all-in costs are very, very reasonable, because the risks are typically AAA and AA ECAs. Obviously, we are fighting against all these other institutions, and cash is our #1 enemy from our perspective. The buyers will first work with cash, of course, and then #2 is bank debt, #3 finance companies, and ECAs are the last. But from pricing perspective, I think ECAs will be #2 here. But again, I think ECAs in this region specifically are not marketed properly, and so every time I speak to the agents, local agents of the OEMs, they tell me, Suha, my first priority is to fund the deal with cash, so that's what I'm having issues with. If I had one wish, Al, about the ECAs, I wish Exim Bank comes back tomorrow with full capabilities, as US exporters need Exim Bank. Any questions? I did in 4 minutes. Good. So it's
just can you, if a guy pays cash, can you refinance after the fact, or do you have
Absolutely,
to
we can refinance after the fact during the first year,
1
after
year.
the delivery, yes.
Right, okay.
Yes.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Suha, any comments on, it's always new aircraft, isn't it? Why are pre-owned
It is.
aircraft so unattractive?
Because it doesn't provide jobs. That's the mandate of ECAs, to create jobs in the respective countries. I would love to refinance, obviously, if there is a new deal, and then I can refinance the old one. But I can make a case if the aircraft was delivered like a month or 2 months ago, I can go to Exim, hey, look, this is a new deal, can we do it? So there are ways, yeah.
And finally, do you think there's any chance Exim will get mandated?
I wish David was here to answer that, We'll see how the election goes in November. If the Democrat takes the House, I think there's a big chance of Exim to come back by early next year. That's all our hope.
One of the really cool things is briefly Anthony Scaramucci was on the board of Exim, but he resigned to become Trump's advisor for 18 days or something. Okay, thank you very much. Any more questions?
Absolutely.
Thank you. Let's break for coffee. Thanks, Suha.